Yes mates, how's it going? My name's Lee. Welcome back to the channel for another FPL video. Today we're going through my game week 9 transfer targets, specifically looking at replacements for Alexander Isak because I believe he's out for a few weeks now. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and leave a comment down below. Let's rock and roll. Alright mates, first up we've got Ivan TONEY. So I'm just going to talk you through the screen if that's okay. So first up we've got total points. That's how many points he's got so far this season. Underneath is his expected points from game week 9 to game week 14, all totaled up. Underneath that is his expected goals for the season. Underneath that is the amount of goals he's actually got, so he's overachieving by 1.6 goals. He's got an XA, an expected assist of 2.3, but he's actually got 2 assists. I'm giving this transfer score 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's a really good transfer. But the only thing I don't like is that his fixtures aren't so great after the first initial one. That's the reason why he's only got 4 and not 5. I think he can still perform in a few of these games, but I don't think he's the optimal solution to the issue if you have got Isak. So down below is the fixtures for the next 6 game weeks, and then underneath that is his expected points per game week. So we've got Bournemouth expecting 5 points, Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea, Villa and Wolves. The good games, he's a really good price. He's been on fire. I think the England call up when they're not getting any minutes will kind of spur him on to do even better essentially. So like I do think he's going to be a good bring in. Just be wary of those fixtures, kind of Newcastle to Chelsea, 10, 11, 12, and that's probably why I wouldn't necessarily bring him in. But he is the obvious choice. A lot of people are bringing him in because he's a similar price to Isak. But if that's the kind of thing you want, if you want to try and go for those big hauls, I think Bournemouth could be one. Do be warned though that Bournemouth at home are a decent side, and they don't concede as many chances as you think they do. So particularly against teams around their level, they're unbeaten against teams in the bottom half or outside the top 6, should I say. Don't expect a goal fest. Don't expect a hat trick from TONEY. Like, it could happen, but they are a better defensive side than you think they are. So I just be wary of that really. And if you are going to go for him, good luck. Right, next up we've got OLLIE WATKINS. Same again, really good price. He's got a really low ownership. He's got good fixtures. He's got a tough game in the middle with Chelsea there, to be fair. Villa just don't look great all round. I do think he's a good option though. He's got 26 points so far this season, and is predicted to get near enough 26 points again over the next 6 game weeks. He's underachieving in terms of his goals, but he's got more assists than he has expected assists. I'll give his transfer 3 out of 5 stars. I just think he's good. Like, just Villa aren't kind of clicking all around in general, so that's the reason why I'm not giving it any more than that. But I believe he is on penalties, so like that could be something to sway it. TONEY's on penalties as well, so yeah, you could say that as well. I just think Watkins has got the better long-term fixtures. The only tough one in there is Chelsea. Newcastle away is a tough game, but I think they've got enough good games in there to kind of make up for that, and I'd probably expect him to get 2 or 3 goals in those 6 game run, maybe an assist in there as well, and I think that would be a decent return for an Isak replacement. If he is someone you're looking at, leave a comment down below. Let's have a little chat. On to BAMFORD. This one's a bit of a risky one because I don't know what he is fitness wise. He hasn't played a lot of minutes so far. I think Leeds do miss him, and they do miss an out-and-out number 9. And I think once they do get that, they might start clicking a bit better, and they might start scoring more goals. Then again, he's a really good price. He's got good ownership numbers. He's got really good fixtures besides Arsenal and Liverpool. You can kind of plan around that. Game week 12 is a big issue for a lot of people. And he's up against Leicester, and Leicester always concede. So I think he has got good games there, and if you can kind of target those, I think you could be in for some decent points. I don't think he'll score hat-tricks, but he might bag a goal or 2. I think in that run, if he gets 2 or 3 goals, I think it would be a pretty good transfer, to be honest with you. Same again, I give him 3 stars out of 5. I just think those 2 fixtures against Arsenal and Liverpool are tough games. I don't think they'll get anything from it, and I'm probably concerned about his fitness more than anything else. They have got the other lad as well that played against England, Wilfried Gnonto. He looked really good actually against England, the Italian guy. I'm hoping he gets some minutes. He's only 5 mil as well, and he could be a real option for them. Particularly within that run, like they have got good games, and he probably is someone to keep your eye on as well. But yeah, BAMFORD, I'm not completely sold on him. I probably want to see more fitness, like reassurances essentially, like for me to kind of give that the go ahead. Sinistera was really good on international duty though, so if you are looking for a Leeds player, I'd probably lean more towards Sinistera. Right, onto the man of the moment, SOLANKE. He's just everywhere on Twitter at the minute. He seems to be the most popular choice to bring in, and there are a few reasons why, and I'll kind of talk through that. His price is a very appealing price because I currently don't have any Liverpool players. Me going down from Isak to SOLANKE gives me an extra 1.3, which easily allows me to get from KDB to Salah and then upgrade someone from to get back to Trent essentially. So this is the reason why he is such a looked at option. And if you look at stats from last season as well, SOLANKE is involved in about 50% of Bournemouth's goals. They've got really good games, and like I said before, they are good against teams around their level. I think Brentford will be a good game for them. Leicester, Fulham and Southampton, I think they're really good games, and then it's just the last two. But if you've got him 4 game weeks and he gets 2 or 3 goals in that, I think he is on penalties as well. People keep saying that he hasn't done much so far this season. I mean, they've played Liverpool, City, Arsenal. He's had some injury concerns in the other games. I'm not concerned about him at all. I think he's a really, really good pick. And he's probably my favourite pick of the lot. He's predicted to get 26 points in the next 6 games. He's only got 19 points overall so far, but like I said, he has got some injury concerns so far. And I think if he stays fit, those first 4 games, I think he's a really, really nice option. I think his ownership will start to increase over the next couple of days. And I think once the deadline hits, I expect him to be around the 5, 6, 10 mark. He is being heavily looked at by a lot of the Twitter space at the minute. And I think a lot of people will bring him in. I've given him 4 stars out of 5. And that's just because of the last 2 games and some injury concerns as well. But it's mainly down to his price, the reason why I'm looking at him. Because it allows me to do other things in the team. It allows me to get from Martinelli to Zaha. If I am looking down that route, it allows me to upgrade someone in defence to Trent, like I mentioned before, and then easily get from KDB to Salah. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm looking at him. He's a really, really nice option. And if you do need a replacement for Isak and you haven't got any Liverpool players, I think he could be the man for you. On to one of the more obscure players being considered this week for an Isak replacement, PATSON DAKA. I'm really not sold on him. He's a really nice price. He's got really good ownership. He hasn't done a lot so far. He has got some nice games. I'm just really, really concerned about his minutes, and I just don't see him getting 90 minutes often. Particularly with Vardy being back as well. I think they will kind of go more towards Vardy. I just don't see DAKA starting at all. And even when he does, I see him getting 60 minutes and Iheanacho coming on or Vardy coming on. And as you can see down below there, like his expected points, he's getting 2 or 3 a game, and it's just not worth the risk for that. I would rather go for a Solanke who's the same price. I think he's a much better option, Solanke, than DAKA. Especially when Leicester haven't looked great all round. If I wanted anybody from Leicester, 100% it's Maddison. I'm not considering DAKA at all. If you really wanted to take a gamble, you could do it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the transfer to bring them in, especially when they've got a couple of tough games in there as well. But his first 4 are really nice. Yeah, not for me, mate. Not for me. I've given him 2 out of 5 stars, and I'm being generous. Yeah, not keen at all. Let me know down below what you think. So with this pick here, Brennan Johnson, I'm just trying to think of players that other people aren't thinking about, and he is on penalties, and he's, same again, he's a good price, he's 5.9. I still prefer Solanke though. I'll just put that one out there. He's only got 3 good games out of the 6, so he is a much more short-term option than a few of the other players. He is on penalties. He's expected to get decent returns over the next 6 game weeks. He's got 2 goals and no assists. I think he's almost guaranteed to be playing up front for them, and that's the reason why I give him 3 stars. If they had better fixtures overall, I'd consider that boosting it up. If he wasn't on penalties, I'd take him down to 2 stars. He looks a really good player, to be fair to him, and I think he will go places. I think he'll, if Forest do go down, I think he'll stay in the Prem. I think he's a Prem level player, and the only issue he's got is that because he plays up front and he classifies as a forward, he's the one that tends to drift wide or drop deep, so he ends up playing more of a 10 kind of free roaming role. I do hope that he kind of gets pushed further forward and he's allowed to kind of do his thing closer to the box, in and around the box, should I say. But he's a gamble. He's one of them, if you want to take a bit of a random punt, I think Johnson isn't as bad as an option as people think. Like I said, I still prefer Solanke, and there's a couple more options that I still prefer to Johnson. But he's not a bad option, you know. Like, he's really not a bad option. I think he will score goals, and I think within those first 3 or 4, if he can get a couple of goals in that, like, I think he's a pretty good return. Forest are struggling. They can't keep clean sheets, but they still seem to be making chances and scoring goals. That's what you need to think about with forwards. It's like when people that got Mitrovic, you're not really concerned about what they're doing at the other end of the pitch. It was similar to Pukki last season. As long as he's getting a goal via anything really, penalties, scruffy tap-ins, if he's getting a goal, then that's what you kind of need him for. And I think he is their main man. He is their best player, in my opinion anyway. Like he is their best player, or is their most kind of dangerous player, should I say. And like, he's the one that's most assured of minutes, most guaranteed of minutes. I think he will get 90 minutes, and that's one of the big things I'm trying to think about with this list, is how many of these players are going to get 90 minutes every single week. And that's the thing you've got with TONEY, Solanke, and then that's the problems you've got with the likes of DAKA. I just don't see the minutes there, and that's the reason why I would, if you are weighing up the transfers of DAKA and Johnson, I would go Brennan Johnson. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to replace Isak, because when I brought him in, like, Newcastle have got good games, and I didn't really want to transfer him out. Like, I've got other issues on my team, but he takes up so much money that I feel like he's the one I need to replace. Brennan Johnson, not a bad option. Still Solanke for me. Right, just hear me out on this one. Kai Havertz. I think he's going to start for Graham Potter. I think he's going to play a 3-5-2. And I think Havertz is going to be the one that's going to be playing up front, whether that's with Aubameyang or someone else. I think he's a good option. I quite like him, you know. The only issue is he's more expensive, and if you are tight for funds, then maybe he's not the man. Chelsea have got really nice games: Palace, Wolves, Villa, Brentford, and then they've got United and Brighton in there as well. But they've got really good games in there, and I think he's a good option. You know, like, I really do think he's a good option. Scored against England on the weekend, or whenever it was, a few days ago. It's just his price, and that's the reason why he's 3 stars and not 4 stars for me. Like, he's someone that I'm really considering, because I can just about get there. I think I might be 0.1 short, actually, now I'm thinking about it. That'd be a shame. That'd be a real shame. If you can get to him, I'd consider it, you know. Even if you've got Jesus, I'd consider going Jesus down to Havertz. Just minutes again, though, innit? That's kind of like what I'm banging on throughout this full thing. Is he 100% guaranteed 90 minutes? I'm not so sure. I do think he's a good option, though. He isn't on penalties, as far as I'm aware, and maybe that takes away some of his appeal from someone like a TONEY or Solanke that seem like guaranteed on pens. But I think he's a good option. Like, I really do. I quite like him as a player. I don't think he's amazing like other people think he is, or I don't know if people do think that. I just think he's a good player. Hasn't quite found his role in that Chelsea side, and when he's playing for Leverkusen, he seems to be dropping into the hole a little bit. So like maybe they need someone to stretch the play. He drops in because he's not blessed with blistering pace, but he is a good player. There's top quality player in there somewhere, and I'd just consider it. That's all I'm saying. Just consider it. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to try and give you some information, give you some place to think about, and I think Kai Havertz is an option. Like, he's maybe not your number one option, because he's only predicted 17 points over the next 6. But I think he's a good option, mate. Like, like you seen last season, like, he has these kind of like streaks of just being like red hot and scoring 2 or 3 within like a short space of time. Are those 4 games going to be a streak? Who knows? Like they always say, fixtures breed form, and I think he's a good option. I don't think Potter's going to be sold on Aubameyang because of the way he likes to play. I think Havertz is going to be his number 9. I think Havertz is his man, and yeah, I'd consider him. I really would, mate. Like the more I'm kind of thinking about it now, and the more I'm talking myself into it. I'll tell you who I'm going to go for at the end, but he is slowly creeping up my my rankings. Kai Havertz, mate. Who would have thought? Right, on to the last possible option for an Isak replacement, MICHAIL Antonio. Bit of a blast from the past from last season, this. Good price again. He's a very similar price. Good ownerships. Really nice fixtures besides Liverpool and United. I like a bit similar to most players in this list. They've got maybe 4 or 5 good games in a really tough game, like somewhere in there. He hasn't done a lot this season. 1 goal and 1 assist, 18 points. He's predicted 23, 24 points over the next 6 games. I think those first three in particular, Wolves, Fulham, Southampton, he's another one. He's a very streaky player. If you catch him right, like, the guy is just an absolute machine, and Scamacca's not really done it so far. I don't think he's on penalties, and that's the reason why I've took him down from 3 to 2 stars. I think he's a good option. West Ham fans might correct me. If you are a West Ham fan, let me know down below what you actually think of him, and whether you think he could be a viable option moving forward. But I'm just trying to think of other players, like I mentioned a minute ago, that could be exposed to that could get these high returns. And Wolves, Fulham, and Southampton in particular are 3 very, very good games. He's just someone to consider, like someone to look at, and who knows? He could absolutely bang in those games, and he's getting 2 or 3, 4 goals in those first 3, and you're laughing, aren't you? Yeah, let me know what you think, Michael Antonio. So this is just a little graphic showing who I think is the best Isak replacement. So you've got Solanke at the top, Daka at the bottom, and this is ranked in order of his expected points over the next 6 game weeks. Solanke, surprisingly, is at the top with 26 points, and then it kind of staggers down from there. And I'll let you look at that. I would bump Havertz up personally from my own point of view. I think Watkins is a good option, but I would probably go Solanke, TONEY, Havertz, Watkins, and then I would take a chance on Brennan Johnson. That would be my top 5 picks. Solanke's got the better fixtures, he's on penalties, he's got really good games, and I think if you catch him right, I think he will get returns. Bournemouth are looking better, they look more assured, and I think that's probably the issues players that like Watkins have got. TONEY's got 1 good game, and then he's got really tough games. So if you are bringing TONEY in, have a plan. And transfers are so precious that I would rather bring Solanke in, leave him in for 6 weeks, whereas TONEY, you're going to have to transfer him out in a couple of weeks' time. And that, to me, just doesn't seem worth the transfer, and why I would put Solanke at the top. You've got money in the bank, you can easily get back to Liverpool players if you don't have any. Like for someone like myself that's already used my wildcard, that's just so vital to have. And then my outside chance, or my outside punt, is Havertz. I think he's a good option, mate. I really think he's a good option. Let me know down below who you're looking at, who you think is the best option. If you think I've missed any other options, let me know down below. Alright, mate, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. So today we went through my game week 9 transfer targets, specifically looking at replacements for Alexander Isak. If you think I've missed anybody, let me know down below. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment down below. Peace and love, man.